You and I were at a party because Jimmy V Foundation continues to find a cure for cancer. And we were at this party I said to you, what about Caitlin Clark? What do you about Caitlin Clark? And you said, Curly, you don't know anything about basketball. Let me tell you something. And then you went on to talk to me for like about 5 or 6 minutes about Sue Bird. What is it about Sue Bird, Coach K?
Well, Sue Bird is the ultimate point guard. And I love Sue Bird. I wish that I had the honor of coaching her. She took that position to the highest level, not only in what she did physically, but what she did mentally and emotionally. You know, I love her. I think she is the absolute best, and Seattle was so very fortunate to have her as her idol, as her hero.
Yeah,
and she's the best. Again, if she was in the men's game, should be the Magic Johnson or the Isaiah Thomas or of the men's game.
She had her career ends 2002 to 2022, 6,803 points, but more importantly, 3,234 assists.
The assists, yeah. You know, she saw things that no one else saw in the moment. You can watch tape and say, oh, yeah, I saw that, because you don't have the ability to think in the moment. And her ability to think in the moment and play with courage allowed her to make plays that no one in the history of women's basketball really has made that number of plays like she has.
She, there were numerous times, and that's a long time to play. She didn't sit out any games. We used to have season tickets. We used to sit right on the floor. You could see days she was hurting, ankles and knees, because she got banged up. Not a very big player, but an aggressive player, as much as she could be. You always talk about players that play with heart and go beyond. You could see that in certain players. You coached them along the way with your career, 42 seasons at Duke. Were there players that just you knew you could count on no matter what pains they had brought to the game that day?
Yeah, no question. And Sue understood her commitment to the team, her teammates, but she also understood as a professional her commitment to the fans. And that's why she's beloved in Seattle. She has a statue now, a beautiful statue named, done in honor of her. And I've been fortunate that I've had players like that. You can go with Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill, Trajan Langdon, Shane Battier, my current coach, John Shire. Those players, because they do things in the moment, John, you don't have to call a timeout to tell them what to do. They're doing it while the play is going on. It's one of the biggest pluses that a coach can have if you have a player like that.
Yeah, because you see something starting to develop and you want to go call a timeout, and then all of a sudden they're just a half a second ahead of you, right? So you're in that flow and they're in that flow. Having seen Sue play for all those years, I mean, diving on the floor to get a ball, right? I don't even know if players do that as much as, she would just throw herself onto that, and there'd be, she's got some forward that's on top of her, weighs 20, 30 pounds longer, and she's still, struggling, elbows flying around to get anything she could. Plus Lauren Jackson, the two of them work together. Just such finesse, but such power from LJ and then for Sue Bird. It's great. It is great for women's basketball to have this. And for Sue as well. For her to end this career with this sort of thing and for it to be out in front, it's just great for everybody. The reason I wanted you to have on, not only because you had talked about Sue, and I don't know if you're allowed to talk because you're the big special advisor for basketball operations in the NBA, but I also brought up the Sonics, and you said to me, Seattle deserves a team. Seattle, it's a great city. Share with our listeners your thoughts on Seattle and basketball.
Well, Seattle, aside from basketball, is one of the great cities in the world. It's a beautiful city. And I've loved every time I've been there. In basketball, though, they're a basketball city. It has a basketball community that takes care of its young. I know from the last great player I coached in college was Paolo Banchero, and he benefited from the experiences that he had with the older veteran players in Seattle. They have a commitment to the game and to one another that is just beautiful. It's not seen really hardly anywhere in the country. And there's no question that Seattle, well, you had the NBA team. And anyway, and they just won it.
Good edit, Coach K. Good edit on your part right there. Nicely done. Yes.
Yeah, but they would kill it. I mean, they would kill it. I don't know where expansion is right now on the list of things for Adam Silver and the NBA hierarchy. I know they're looking at it. I know Seattle is being considered, but I don't know the time frame for that. The one thing, when you add teams, that means the other owners share revenue.
Yeah.
And not many people like to share revenue. So, when the time comes, I think they'll be right there, and hopefully they'll get that franchise back that they deserve.
We met more than 10 years ago. My goodness. It was at the Jimmy V Foundation, and I'm going to play something for you.
To me, there are three things we all should do every day. If we do this every day of our life, you're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day.
A heck of a day from Jimmy Valvano.
I've got to go, and I've got one last thing. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. And those three things are going to carry on forever.
How do they carry on, Coach K?
Well, first of all, Jimmy would have loved you. And not many people love you. So I know you're lonely and you need hugs. It's really one of the things I put on my list for helping unfortunate people. And so that's the basis of my friendship with you. But Jimmy would love you because you're spontaneous, you're full of crap, you got good stuff, and you'll do whatever it needs, whatever you need to do to make it work. And but God bless you for what you've done with the wine celebration in Napa. For all of you listeners, we raised in 27 years now $180 million at the Napa wine celebration. That figure probably would be 150 if it wasn't for you. You would be great in end of game situations.
Okay. But Coach K,
with the bid, a lot of people would just accept the bid, and then you will not accept the bid, and somehow you convince the people in the audience that they should bid more. But you're a master at that, and God bless you for doing it.
Well, I'm just a small part, and I would probably get a lot more technical fouls if they had the whistle.
You would definitely get that.
Yeah,
you'd get thrown out of.
I'd be out of the game in the first quarter. But more, it's that speech was, I think it was from 1993, and the Jimmy V Foundation wants to make sure that people continue to know that speech, because a lot of people, who's Jimmy Valvano? What's that all about? But on his deathbed, you were there with him, even though you went head to head numerous times against him in your college career with all of your wins. You were there, and he told you, Coach K, listen, I'm going to die, but I can't just die. I got to do something. So it was you and Bob Lloyd and the others that took his final words and turned it into probably the greatest organization that's going to find a cure for cancer. And it goes on every single year. The fight never ends. And the challenge for the V Foundation is, how do you make a speech from 1993 with those words that everybody can live by every day? How do you still make it resonate every single day so that people continue to think of a cure for cancer and the V Foundation and what Jimmy's last words meant?
Well, because it's common sense. He spoke from the heart, and his words don't know an age, a time frame, or whatever. His words know every time frame, every age, and they resonate with whether you're 20 when you first heard it or you're 70 when you heard it 25 times. It makes sense. And Jimmy, I think he had a divine vision, somehow a divine intervention. And he wanted to live beyond his life on earth. And he wanted to be a part of the team that won. He was the ultimate coach and wanting to be there when the final victory was going to happen. And the final victory will happen because we are beating cancer. We haven't won. We're winning, but we haven't won. And that's why raising funds, especially during this time with the federal government and all the cuts they're making and research grants and whatever, for everyone in the audience to understand, every penny that goes to the V Foundation goes to cancer research. We don't have to go through the Fed. We don't have to do anything. We give researchers grants, and that's the beauty of it. And we're completely endowed. How cool, how unbelievable is that when you give $1, $1 million to the V Foundation, you know that every penny will be spent with what you want it to be spent for, and that's to beat cancer.
Well, we will continue to meet hopefully every year there, doing our part for that. And then listen, if they ever get a basketball team here in Seattle and you show up for some God knows reason why, I'm going to take you out to dinner, okay?
Listen.
No, it's not going to be a nice. It's not going to be a nice dinner.
You out. We'll go to a better place. Nothing against you. I mean, I watch your verve and all that, and I admire you. But probably the places that we would go to are places that I used to go to.
Right.
And no, they're not. They're still good. Don't get me wrong.
No, listen. If you'd be sitting in the passenger seat. I'd be in the driver's seat, and I'd put the window down. So you want pickles on that? That would be the order. Okay. All right. Coach K, my best to Mickey and the rest of the family. God bless you. Thanks for coming on. Find some time for us.